fall 2016. So just to give you an idea of what we're going to do today, we're going to review a lot about what CBOB is, what your role is, and then like little things to make sure we're all on the same page in terms of how to use Google, Google Drive, Google Hangouts, all of that. And then we'll talk a little bit about what's expected of you in terms of professionalism and whatnot. You'll come to notice that we are very much a family. We lean on each other. We are always trying to help each other and grow and get better. We're very open with each other. I want you guys to feel comfortable, but at the same time, always maintain that level of professionalism. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. This is going to be interesting. This is the first time we've had so many UF interns. We're going to go around, say your name, your position. If you want, you can say your major or something like that. And I'd like to try this. We'll see how far we get. But have you guys played that game before where you have to say the person and then go all the way around, and then I would have to say everybody's name? Yeah. So we're going to try that just because I want you guys to also remember the faces, because I know that once we get to person number 20, you're going to be like, who's number 1? I don't even remember. So hopefully this will help us remember a little bit. It's okay if you forget, if you just remember their position. That's fine. And I'll go last, mostly because I should be able to do most of this, and because I've been emailing, receiving your submissions. I've seen your names a lot. All right. Angel, I'd like for you to go first, just because he told me he had a sore throat. I'd feel bad for him to have to go later on. If you want, you can type it in or try to talk, and I can say it for you, however you want to do it.
Okay, I'm Angel. I attend FSU, and I'm the public relations intern.
Do the rest of Hangouts want to go? Maybe Rebecca, you can go next.
Okay, hey everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
My headphones are like broken. Okay, awesome. I'm Rebecca. I go to FSU. I'm a community outreach and development intern. I was actually here last semester as well. And the person who went before me is Angel. So it's Angel, Rebecca, and someone take it away.
Dana or Juanita, do you want to go?
Sure, I can go. My name is Shayna Call, and I am an English major, education minor, and I am the grant writing intern.
Do you remember the people's names before you, Shayna? Do you remember the 2 people's names before you?
Yes, Angel and Rebecca.
Awesome. My name is Juanita. I'm one of the directors of the Service Trip program. I've been on the CBOB team for a long time, probably longer than everyone in the room. I've been with CBOB since September 2013. I did my undergraduate at UF in psychology and education and French, and I'm currently pursuing a master's degree at Harvard in education. I'm very passionate about CBOB, and this is what I want to continue to do after I graduate with my master's. I want to study mentorship and how the interactions that we have with kids are fundamental and transformative and life-changing. That was like way too much information. So Shayna, Rebecca, Angel.
And that was Juanita, Service Trip Director.
Yes.
Want to go this way?
Yeah.
Now everyone's regretting being on this side.
Go ahead.
You guys can take the computer with you as you go. If Stephanie is okay with it.
I'm Tegan. I'm the campus communications liaison for the UF chapter. I'm not really sure about my major right now.
Just whatever you want to tell us about.
I'm studying Spanish and Swahili to hopefully take a gap year or so in the Peace Corps before going to grad school. Angel, Rebecca, Hannah, Juanita.
Awesome.
Hi guys, I'm Samira. I am the trip coordinator for the UF chapter, and I am a sociology and business major, focusing for pre-medical, and I would like to do my MD and a master's in public health, kind of pursue medicine, and kind of like steer towards like still like nonprofit organizations with my clinical background. And I can't pronounce it. Tegan, Juanita, Shannon, Angel, Rebecca. Is that it? 1, 2, 3. Yes. Okay.
I'm Caitlin. I am a sophomore advertising major, and I'm the graphic design intern. And I'm planning on, I don't really know what I want to do yet, but I know it has to do with art and also involving kids, so maybe something relating to that. And so, Samara, okay, Tegan, and then Juanita, Shayna, Rebecca, Angel. Okay, here, let's pass this over there.
Hi everyone, I'm Carissa. I'm a first year student. I'm a PR intern and my major is PR. And since I'm a first year, I don't really know what I'm doing, so.
Maybe like your second day here?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I was here for summer heat, but it's very different.
Yeah.
So Angel, Shayna, Juanita,
Starts with an R.
Rebecca, Tegan, so it's an S.
Samira.
Samara.
Caitlin.
Okay. I remember that. What's your name?
Carissa. Hi, I'm Alexia. I am an economics and major with a nonprofit and business minor, and I want to use finance and economics to help nonprofits grow and help allocate their resources better. So I'm really passionate about kids. I have 5 younger siblings, so I love children. They're all little girls, and so they're my loves. And I also really like to travel, so I'm studying abroad and want to pursue a master's in international business and would love to like work abroad one day with nonprofits. So, okay, Angel, Rebecca, Shayna, Juanita, Tegan, Samara, Caitlin, Carissa.
Hi, I'm Neda. I'm the student chapter coordinator, and my major is sustainability and political science. Hopefully, I want to get my master's in human rights. So it was Angel, Shayna, Rebecca, Juanita, Tegan, Samira, Caitlin, Carissa, Alexia, and
How do you pronounce your name?
Neda.
I'm Grace. I'm a psych major. I'm a senior, and I am the data and analytics intern this semester. And I'm probably not gonna remember anyone's name, so I'm gonna try my best. Angel, Rebecca, Shayna, Juanita, wait, Tegan.
Isn't a hard name.
Sounds really like 6 lines, so like I'm out.
Samira.
Starts with a K.
Caitlin.
Okay.
Clarissa.
No,
Clarissa.
All
Alright.
You guys had 2 K's together.
Alexia and Neda.
Hello, I'm Alejandra Benjamea. I'm the Public Relations Director. I'm currently out of breath because it is my first semester at UF and I don't know where anything is. And I've been running around like a crazy person. But I'm finally here and I'm excited to get to know you all. And yeah. Oh, sorry. Angel, Rebecca, Shayna, Juanita, Tegan, Carissa, Samara, Neda. Alexia. And am I missing someone?
You can't have that, you
That was me. Hi everyone. I'm Estefania. I'm a third You're pursuing a economics degree. Yes, I know.
Wow.
We gotta talk. What am I saying? Oh, I'm the volunteer coordinator. Super excited to work with all of you. And I'm gonna try my best to say all of your names. Okay, Angel, Rebecca, Shayna, Juanita, Tati, Tegan, Samara, Caitlin, Carissa, Alexia, Netta, Grace, Alejandra. Wow! Oh my God! I'm so proud of myself. Wow, that was the first time I did that right. Okay.
I'm Ravina. I'm the training position coordinator, and I don't really know what I want to do for a major yet. So I'm in FYCS right now, but I think I'm gonna go into business. Okay, so Angel, Rebecca, Shayna, Juanita, Tegan, Samira, Caitlin, Carissa.
Carissa, yeah.
Okay. Alexia, Netta, Grace. Wait, I know your name. Wait. You didn't say your name.
Yeah. She did.
Did it?
Yeah. Stephanie. Sorry.
Alright. Hi, I'm Anika. I'm a community outreach intern. It's my second semester. Poli-sci major, but I want to do something in my future. So okay, Angel, Rebecca, Shayna, right? Okay, Juanita, Tegan, Samara, okay, Caitlin, Carissa, is it Alexis? Alexia, okay, Netta, Grace, you're Stefano, Alejandra, and then Ravina.
Yeah.
Yay! We're so good at this. Oh my God, so bad. All right. I'm Lauren. I'm right now a psychology major, but I'll probably also major in education. I'm currently the fundraising intern. Well, you are too. Yeah. And we're going to be a cool team. And I don't really know what I want to do. I do want to do the Peace Corps one day. We'll see how that goes. But yeah. Okay. Angel, Rebecca, Shayna, Juanita, Tegan, Samira, Caitlin, Carissa, Alexia, Nada. Wait, no. Yeah. No. Netta?
Yeah.
Okay. Grace, Alejandra, Stephania. Doesn't it start with an N?
R.
Ravina. And Juanita, right?
Over there.
Hey. Oh, wait. Anika. Yeah. Okay.
And you're Lauren.
Yes.
Hi everyone. I'm Emma. I'm one of the service trip directors with Juanita, and I am kind of in charge. We're both in charge of the VFP team. I am pursuing a dual degree in English and Spanish. I eventually want to teach English abroad, so that's kind of like my career plan. And I feel like I'm pretty confident with everyone's names, so let's hope that I do not mess it up. So we have Angel, we have Rebecca, we have Shayna, we have Juanita, we have Tegan, we have Samira, we have Caitlin, we have Carissa, we have Alexia, we have Netta, we have Grace, we have Alejandra, we have Estefania, we have Ravina, we have Anika, and we have Lauren.
Wow.
Emma. I am a rapper.
Rapper name.
Eminem.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Samantha. I'm also a community outreach intern. I'm a senior, and I'm going to attempt this. We have Juanita, Shayna, Angel, Rebecca, Tegan, Samira, Caitlin, Carissa. Okay, I'm blanking.
It's fine.
Alexia, Netta, Grace, Alejandra, Estefania, Ravina, Anika, Lauren, and Emma. Okay. Okay, cool.
All right, my name is Amanda. I'm the creative director. I used to be the graphic design intern. Got promoted. I'm an advertising senior, graduating in the spring, which is kind of scary because I don't know what I want to do exactly, but something in the creative side of advertising. All right, let's try this. So Angel, Rebecca, Shayna, Juanita, Tegan, Samira, Caitlin, Carissa, Alexia, Netta, Grace, Alejandra, Estefan, I don't know, Estefania, yeah, Ravina, Anika, Lauren, Emma, Samantha.
Yeah.
What is your name? Amanda. I got this.
Scared me out.
Hi everyone, my name is Carolina. I just graduated with a Bachelor of Health Science and I'm taking a year off before pursuing a Master's in Public Health. I love to travel, so I definitely want to make that a part of my work and do international public health work. So as far as your names, we have Rebecca, Angel, Juanita, Shayna, Tegan, Samira, Caitlin, Carissa, Alexia, Netta, Grace, Alejandra, Estefania, Ravina, Anika, Lauren, Emma, Samantha, and Amanda.
Gosh, you could go down.
Cool.
Yeah, same.
You
hear it so many times.
All right, we went full circle. I mean, just in case you don't know who I am, I'm Tati. I'm the operations director. I'm most of your supervisors. Some of you report to Emma and Juanita, and then some of you guys have another supervisor that reports to me. So I will be interacting with just about all of you throughout the semester. I'm really looking forward to that. I love VIP and I love making it better every semester and teaching you guys new things and also learning from you guys. Now here go the names. Okay, so Angel, Rebecca, Juanita, Shayna, Tegan, Samira, Caitlin, Carissa, Alexia, Netta, Grace, Alejandra, Estefania, Ravina, Anika, Lauren, Emma, Samantha, Amanda, Carolina. Yay! Okay, so now we're going to start with real orientation. I can share this with you guys on Hangouts so that you can see it too.
Hangout link so we don't have to. Never mind.
Oh yeah. I mean,
just do it. Okay,
because
we'll do the old-fashioned way.
We'll have them look at that, but for them on here, and they don't need to watch them watch the thing. Can everyone see that? Yes. Okay, cool. All right, so just to give you guys a brief,
Never mind. Sorry, my bad.
idea of CBOB, our mission is to provide opportunities for youth in Florida as of right now, and we also work abroad, but we'll talk a little bit more about that later. And our nonprofit, it is a nonprofit, a 501(c)(3) nonprofit, was started actually by UF students, so very much like yourselves, and they wanted to give back to their home country of Colombia, and that's when they started the nonprofit back in 2003. So there's been a lot of changes since then, but we've made a lot of new things, and we've also taken out some programs that didn't necessarily work to the extent we wanted it to, and created new ones and learned from what we've accomplished so far. So then we have Bound for Peace, which is our service trips, and I'll let Emma talk about that.
I just like staying close to it. So Juanita and I are in charge of Bound for Peace, which right there. So it was originally called Crossing Borders, and then it was changed to Bound for Peace. So we have 3 countries that we go to as of right now. That's Colombia, Ecuador, and Nicaragua. We just recently sent a team to Medellin, and then we sent 2 trips to Cartagena, And so we have volunteers and we train them and also prepare workshops for the volunteers to take abroad. And then they teach in local schools or at local foundations there for either a week to 2 weeks. And these workshops are interactive and educational, so they deal with stuff like hygiene, self-esteem, how to build lasting relationships, basically anything and everything people need to know before they enter adulthood, we try and help teach there. So, yeah.
Cool. And by the way, guys, we're not going to be reading word for word for most of these slides, so in your own time, definitely look at this, look on our website, find more information. This is mostly, and it's happened before, that someone will ask you, oh, what's BFP? You need to be able to answer that question. Or CWOB, which is coming up, you need to know what it is and be able to explain it if someone asks you randomly. So this is starting that knowledge, but definitely do your own research, especially if you're going to be working in that area. Then we have the IMCBOB scholars.
Just a quick addition to that, Kati. There's a lot that goes into Bound for Peace. People are going to ask you very specific questions about what the trip cost is, what the money goes towards, about the foundations. If you get any of those kinds of questions, direct them to me and Emma. We will give you our email. But general questions, yes, you should definitely be able to answer at least what it is and where we serve and general details like that.
Definitely, you should be able to say, Bound for Peace are service trips to go, et cetera, et cetera. But then if you want more information and you refer them to the right person, same with CWOB, you'll know who the right person is. And then if it's VIP, they can just talk to me. Just tell them just general information that they know at least, and then the right person to talk to. Okay? So back to IMCBOB. IMCBOB is a scholarship program that we have. We currently fund the college education of 4 scholars that you can see in this picture in Colombia. We had another scholar, Yosimar, but he graduated. He actually studied abroad, here in the U.S., but at Northwestern. So we were actually able to help him fund that, and he was even on Telemundo because they wanted to know about his study abroad. So our scholars, if you get the chance to talk to them, hopefully you will throughout the semester. They're a very special bunch. And also a lot of the funds that we do through the student chapter, whatever fundraisers they do, some of our own fundraisers, will sometimes go to fund them, and we pay for their transportation, their school, their books, etc. Next is Children Within Our Borders. This is our newest program. It was founded here in Gainesville last summer. So here it has been a little over a year that it's been in effect. And basically, with Children Within Our Borders, we work with kids in our local communities across the 3 universities, UCF, FSU, and UF. Here at UF, mostly for you guys that are here sitting in this room, we work with a group of kids in Alachua County. It's about 13. Most of the time, it can be a little bit more. We do tutoring services with them. We do workshops with them. Kind of what Emma was explaining about BFP, we've modified it to fit the local community. And we've done things like hygiene and nutrition and career day, different things that will help them just with day-to-day things as well as their future and whatnot. And tutoring has been a huge part of it too. Just to give you guys an idea of when tutoring was done, it started, we partner with Gators for Equal Opportunity, and they started it because a lot of the kids weren't passing on to the next grade, and once they were in tutoring, people were passing without a problem, and no one was failing their classes or that grade anymore because of the FCAT or anything like that. So it's definitely made a huge improvement in the lives of those kids. And if you're ever interested in volunteering, you'll hear about opportunities all the time. This is honestly one of my favorite parts of CBOB, to get to work with the kids, really 20 minutes away, and you get to be with them and have a fun day with them. And then the student chapters, which is another thing you guys can get involved in. So that you guys are aware of this also if someone asks you, the official chapters are University of Florida, Florida State University, University of Central Florida, and here in Gainesville, Eastside High School. Unofficial is Florida International University. We're trying to get a group there that's interested, and you need to have a full e-board before you can apply to be a club. So we're working towards that, but it's not official. You can't invite anyone to a meeting there because it's not happening. Inactive programs, the most important thing you need to know about these programs is that they are inactive. If you see it, if someone asks you about it, that's the bottom line, what you need to know. New Horizons or Nuevos Horizontes, Empowerment through English Initiative, and the FIU Student Chapter. Some of these might be like reactivated, I guess you could say, like EEI and the FIU Student Chapter. New Horizons will more than likely never be reactivated. And then the VIP, the Volunteer Internship Program, which is what you all are a part of. Let's see, what can I tell you about VIP? You're going to learn so many different things and in so many different areas. You're going to be, yes, you're going to see the nonprofit world, but you're also going to see a lot more than that. So it's going to be a lot about growing as a professional, being able to run a meeting with your peers, and also for some of you, like the supervisor, being able to run a training, run a meeting, how to interact with donors, how to interact with volunteers, how to tackle problems that you didn't even know you were going to have to face, like someone comes to you complaining about something, or a child tells you something that you're not really sure how to handle. So there's a lot of scenarios that go into it that you might not expect to learn from, but you definitely do. At least from my personal experience, I've become comfortable with giving a meeting to a group of 20 people, and I used to get nervous. I'm pretty comfortable at this point. I've learned a lot about how to be a manager and be a supervisor. But of course, everyone has room to grow, so I always tell you guys, like, just as I'm giving you suggestions, always feel free to give me suggestions on anything. I will definitely, listen to it with an open mind. If changes come from that, I can't guarantee that, but I will definitely always listen to your suggestions and see if there's somewhere that we can make some changes. All right. So any questions about like the background of CBOB, CBOB's 5 programs, which by the way, not that many of you got right in your interview, so definitely study up on your CBOB knowledge, okay? I'm not calling you guys out, I'm just telling you it's really important to know about this. No questions? Everything cool? All right, so I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the job descriptions. So you guys can look at that doc that has VIP positions. You should have seen it when you applied. It's still on the website under Volunteer Internship Program. It's on your drives. It's like everywhere. But basically, to give you guys an idea first of kind of how all the positions work, it's for their standard operations and the service trip team. The service trip team is run by Juanita and Emma. They're the service trip directors. And then under them, for this semester, there's the training coordinator and data and analytics. Sometimes they have other positions, but those are the 2 positions for this current semester. Then we have standard operations, which, by the way, if I ever say SO, that's standard operations, not so. Like, this is so whatever. No, it's like standard operations. And then I run standard operations. I'm the operations director. And the 3 supervisors under me are Estefania as a volunteer coordinator, Alejandra as a PR director, and Amanda as a creative director. For community outreach and development, your supervisor is Estefania as the volunteer coordinator. Grant writing will meet with me. I am your direct supervisor. Public relations, your supervisor is the public relations director, Alejandra. Graphic design will still meet with me. You guys will both meet with me, but the interesting thing about creative director is that she will also be working a lot with PR. That's why she's going to be covering a lot of different areas. That's why she's not necessarily running graphic design. She's just with all of the creative aspects of CBOB. And fundraising, you report directly to me. Student chapter coordinator, directly to me as well. Then the campus communications liaison reports to the student chapter coordinator. And then I am CBOB scholarship director. We don't have an intern this semester. And then event manager reports directly to me. If you have any questions about that, let me know. If you want to read over your position description, you can. These all are linked to the actual document, so you can definitely look into it if you're unclear about anything. With that being said, those descriptions obviously aren't like the end-all be-all for what you're going to do. We try to give you like estimates of how much you're going to work, but I can tell you it ranges so much. Like if you have a CWAB event this coming weekend, you're probably going to be working way more than what it says on there, while the week after it's like, oh, this is so nice, because you're just kind of like looking at how it went and thinking about the next one, but not necessarily planning anything yet. So it's hard to say exactly how that's going to work out. So definitely just keep that in mind and try to plan ahead in terms of, like, you know, if crazy CBOB week is coming or a crazy school week, try to move things around accordingly to make not make your life too crazy. Okay. So this is something that people get confused with sometimes. So please ask me questions if you're uncertain about anything. I've said this to a couple of you that asked me questions already, I'd rather you ask me a million questions than you feel uncertain or like not feel comfortable with your responsibilities. So everyone has weekly meetings, and that's going to be with your supervisor. Just like I said before, that's either going to be, you know, for Bound for Peace, it's going to be Emma and Juanita. I'm too used to it. And then for standard operations, like I explained before, if you're not sure, I can tell you a little bit later. Then you're going to have team biweeklies. I will send you a document that says what team you're on, but for example, community outreach, their weekly meetings are separated by city. The team biweeklies, all the cities will come together. Something I want you guys to really understand and make sure you're doing it right is these team biweeklies should not be just like the weekly meeting. If you're just talking about what you talked about with me, you're wasting your time and you're wasting your team's time. And I don't want you guys doing things that are unnecessary. Everything that we've done and has been through a lot of feedback from interns, and I do it with a purpose in mind. So if you're doing it incorrectly, we're really not going to accomplish anything. For the team biweeklies, what you should be doing is kind of discussing the highs and lows. It can be of that week, of that event, of really whatever is going on for your particular team. And then it's really going to be a lot about brainstorming. So the easiest example is, let's say, community outreach. Like, oh, we had a career day event and this went really well, but this really didn't go well. What did you guys do at your event? Or what are you going to do for your next event? Or what do you think we should do? Or I have this reflection question. How do you think I should word it? It's your time to go to your team with your questions and with your suggestions. If something worked really well for you at an event and you were like, all the kids were paying attention the entire time, you need to do this. That's what that meeting is for. And you're going to be sending your meetings. You're going to email them the minutes from your meetings to managers@chbob.org. I'm going to explain this a little later, but just so that you know, managers emails myself, Andrea, which should be joining us soon. She teaches Zumba, so she's currently doing that, and Emma and Juanita. So it's going to cover everyone. We're all going to see it and make sure that you're kind of doing this correctly. And I will know if you're doing exactly what you did at the meeting, at the weekly meeting. It's going to be, like, for you guys, it's going to be Community Outreach UF, Community Outreach FSU, and eventually Community Outreach UCF. But the first couple times, Estefania is going to be there to guide you guys to the first couple, but after that, she's not going to be there. It's just this, I'm totally leaving it up to you guys. You guys schedule. Like I tell you, team biweeklies happen this week. When you do it in that week, I don't care. I personally tell you guys, like, I don't like making you guys work on the weekends. I want you guys to have 2 days off. If you guys prefer to meet on the weekends, that's your decision. I'm not going to force anyone to do that. You can meet whenever you want, for as long as you want. I would say anything less than 15 minutes was probably not enough. I've gotten minutes before, like 7:21 and 7:29, we're done. And I was like, really? I think you just said hi and bye. So definitely use this to your advantage. It's also a time if you think there's a stupid question, you can just ask your teammates instead of maybe asking your supervisor. this is the time to do whatever you want with your team and grow together. So any questions about that type of meeting? No? Okay. Then besides those, there's the VIP monthly meeting, which is going to look a lot like this. It's going to be in person with the entire VIP team with a couple on Google Hangouts. That's going to happen once a month, and normally you won't have, this meeting should be about an hour and a half, probably less. That's kind of how, that's kind of how they should be for those VIP monthly meetings. So I don't anticipate you guys having more than 2 hours of meetings every week. More than 2 hours of meetings in any given week. Because the weekly meetings should only be half an hour. If it goes over, I mean, it's usually because you guys have more questions, and I have no problem with that. But just a heads up, that might happen, but not usually. Go ahead.
Is that like online or is that?
The weekly meetings are through Hangouts. Good question. Yeah. Those are through Hangouts. Then the VIP monthly meeting, I want it to be in person just like this, because you guys I want you guys to get to know each other, to be able to feel comfortable just texting someone and being like, hey, I need your help with this event, or are you going to be there at the fundraiser? Because you guys need to meet to be able to actually like really become a team. I've tried it with only virtual. It's not the same. And with that, here it's a little different because obviously we're all here, but for the weekly meetings, and if you're ever on Hangouts for one of these meetings because you're out of town or something like that, please follow kind of general meeting etiquette. You'd be surprised some of the things that I've seen. I was telling Estefania earlier today. Make sure you're somewhere quiet. It's very distracting to you and to myself when I can hear like the 20 people in line at Starbucks and the different drinks that they're ordering. So try to be somewhere quiet and somewhere you're going to be focused. This doesn't work when if you're at work, you shouldn't be doing a CBOB meeting. If you're driving, you should not be doing a CBOB meeting. You should be focused on that for that half an hour. I don't think half an hour is that much to ask out of your week. So I ask that you give us your undivided attention for that time. It'll be much better use of my time and your time and better for CBOB. Everyone in agreement with that? Yes, I will literally tell you, call me back. I don't care. We're not talking right now. Because that's so dangerous because it's a video, so you're trying to do this and like, no. And like it stresses me out and I can't even think. So that's 100% not happening. If for whatever reason you are like, because sometimes people will do it walking. I don't like that either. Try to be sitting somewhere on your computer, quiet. If you need to, if something came up, you went to a doctor's appointment, it ran late, I'm like heading home, can I do it on my phone? Yes. Like, I'm not a super mean dragon lady or anything. Like, there are things that come up, and you just text me and let me know. Like, it's very different for you to just show up, like, with racket in the background, and I'm like, whoa, like, hello. As you telling me, hey, Tati, I'm really sorry, like, this, and this happened, would it be okay for me to do it on my phone? Yeah, totally, no problem. This is something we're going to go over later. Just communication is key. If you tell me what's going on, that's fine. And we'll talk about rescheduling in a second. But I want you guys to check out this doc. Can you click the link at the bottom? I'm so used to having this connected to the screen. That one, yeah. Okay, cool. It does that sometimes. Sometimes it just opens it. I don't know. Okay, so this will likely not change. If it does, I will let you know. But this is kind of what the schedule looks like. So you guys are, you guys know far in advance when all these things are going to be. And I literally, kid you not, sat down with the UF academic calendar next to me and planned these out. The week of Thanksgiving, you guys have no meetings for like team meetings or monthly meetings. The weekly meetings, those, if it's ever rescheduled or email updates for whatever reason, you'll hear from me. Don't check here. because here it just says that you have a weekly meeting every single week. This is mostly because you do have a weekly meeting every single week unless I tell you otherwise, which is literally like once in a blue moon.
You do on Thanksgiving?
No.
Oh,
We'll talk a little bit about when meetings will be and stuff like that. So that plays into it. Like, definitely, if your meeting is on Thanksgiving Day, you're 100% not having a meeting. I want to be with my family too. Like, that's not going to happen. During the time that we're off for like winter break, there's not going to be any meetings. I also tried to do it not around finals. It's hard because some people have finals the week before, some people have it during reading day weeks, and some people have it after. So there is going to be a meeting during some of that because I can't say no meetings forever, you know. But I try to space it out that it's just the team bi-weekly. That week, that's kind of like, I think that's reading days. So that shouldn't be too bad because it's probably just going to be a 30-minute meeting, more or less. And that I also put the team bi-weekly there because that's around the time that you're transitioning into, like, finishing out all the tasks and transitioning into new interns. So that's a good time to meet with your team and discuss the final things that you're doing at the end of the semester. Everything else, I mean, I doubt this is going to change. If it does, I will let you know. The only one that looks different is the VIP introduction. That's just the first VIP monthly meeting. That's going to be a little bit more about getting to know each other because I do want you guys to become a strong team and be able to feel really comfortable with each other. And that only comes with getting to know each other. Let's see. Oh, and to give you guys a little background, I forgot to say it before, the VIP monthly meetings are going to include like updates to give you an idea of what every position is doing, just like, you know, so that you know that there's a fundraiser coming up or that we got something new for Gala, or it's like general things so that you know what's going on in CBOB throughout all the positions. That's like going to take like 10 minutes just updating everybody. But then we usually do activities with you guys. And my focus of these VIP monthly meetings is your professional development. So there's going to be a wide range of activities. But like I've said before, I love VIP, and part of my goal for you guys is for you to grow as professionals. So that's going to entail a lot of training just in the general aspect of professionalism. And then this document is going to be really important for you guys. The next tab is going to be especially important for PR. It has all the sign-ins that you guys could possibly be using. Instagram, Jotform, which you will hopefully learn to love. MailChimp, which some of you have already used for your activities. Snapchat, Canva, Hootsuite, Weebly. Weebly is our website. Unless I give you instructions to do it, you guys shouldn't be signing on to it. That's usually only the student chapter coordinator for very, like, once a semester to add the people from the new student chapter or something like that. Besides that, it'll probably be PR to put up blogs. But if you find yourself on there, please be so careful because literally you click something incorrectly, you can totally like change our website. So please be careful with that. Everything else, the login should work. I don't know why that's still on there. If anything doesn't work, just let me know. I will figure that out for you. And then the next tab is kind of something I had alluded to before. This is kind of the emails that you're like, I need to talk to everyone in community outreach. What are even, I don't even know what all the emails are. Simple, you just email communityoutreach@chbob.org. That works with, if you need to talk to all the interns, there's one for that. Board of directors, that's actually one of your tasks, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But that emails all of them. So this is just to give you guys an idea. Probably one that you guys will all use, no matter what position you're in, is PR team. If you submit a PR request and you want to give them more information, you don't know who's going to do your PR request, send it to PR team. Same goes for graphic, just send it to graphic team. That'll send it both to Amanda and Caitlin. Okay. Any questions about that? I know that was a lot. No? If you guys have any questions at any point, just stop me. Miss one, give one.
This is so weird to have someone like switching slides.
Believe me, I know. I've done this before.
Because I'm like, ta, 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 and then I'm like, oh, they can't see anything I'm doing.
I'm trying.
So miss one, give one. So basically, we created this because we feel that we want this to be, you know, growth throughout CBOB and throughout the internship and through all of you guys. So if you miss something, instead of it being like a huge repercussion, part of it is you miss one, you give one. So if you miss a meeting, you're going to give something back to CBOB. You just took away some of the valuable time of CBOB, so now you're going to give something back to it. Sound cool? So basically the way it works is, yes, you will still get a strike because we are trying to get a lot of work done, and if we just have people missing meetings, we're not going to get nearly as much done as we need to. So basically, you need to, if you know you need to miss a meeting, emergencies are different. Like if I will always text you if you're running late, I'm there waiting, I will text you and be like, hey, what's going on? If I don't get a response, sometimes I'll call you. Really depends on how many meetings I have coming up. But that's mostly emergencies. So this is, if you reschedule, this does not apply to you. But a reschedule doesn't mean 5 minutes before you tell me, hey, Tati, I can't make it, let's reschedule. That's not an appropriate reschedule. The way it should work is that you let your supervisor know within 48 hours, and it's very important, and reschedule with your team. Just telling your supervisor and doing nothing about it doesn't help. The ideal situation would be, you know, let's say you have your meetings on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. You can't make it. You ask your team, hey, can we meet maybe Wednesday at 7 p.m. instead? The whole team can make it. Cool. That means that Estefania, let's say the one that was doing the meeting, doesn't have to do 2 meetings. It'll just be at a different time for that particular week because you couldn't make it for whatever reason. So that would be the proper rescheduling, and then you won't have an issue in this scenario. But let's say you don't reschedule and you didn't have an emergency and you just missed the meeting. Then you would have to either give a $25 donation from CBOB or a business. I mean, for CBOB, from a business or a person. So if you want to just dish out the $25, okay. If you want to go to Walmart and get a $25 gift card donated, that works too. However you want to do it. We're not making you pay the money. I want that to be very clear. I've never tried to make you guys pay money. This is like, if that's the easiest way for you to do it, okay, knock yourself out. But definitely you can go and to local businesses and get that donation. If money's not the way you want to go, then there's 10 hours of community service with one of CBOB's programs. That's going to be through CWOB, probably. With that being said, I give you guys a month to complete this. If there's only one CBOB event, that's not going to cover all your time. You're going to have to ask me, can I volunteer with a chapter? Can I volunteer here? Can I volunteer there? Can I do something extra? You need to talk to me. Like, I'm not checking, like, oh, we have this event and she has to reschedule this amount. Like, I can't be checking that for every single person. So if you have this to do, you need to be the one reaching out to me and figuring out how you're going to meet the requirement. And the other option is to attend 2 CBOB fundraisers. Same scenario. Is there a fundraiser every single week in every single city? No. So if you wanted to go to one for the student chapter and one for us, okay, that'll work. If you wanted to go to, like, we can make exceptions. If you're trying to make it work, I'll talk to you and we can figure something out. Something very important, if you're more than 15 minutes late to a meeting, you've missed half the meeting. You do that twice, it's just like missing a meeting. At least for me, it might not be the case for other supervisors, but I tend to have a lot of my meetings back to back. So if you get there 15 minutes late, that either means I'm going to be 15 minutes late to my next meeting, or we're going to have a very short meeting. And it's not the other person's fault that you got there late, so most likely we're going to have a very short meeting unless I don't have another one. So that's the main reason I have this in place, because I don't want whatever's going on for you then that you were late to affect somebody else. And same thing, it's happened before. I'm sitting there at the computer and I'm like, oh, what do we do now?
you're not here yet. Like, it's also kind of like, I could be getting so much done, but you need to be there on time. I will tell you, I create like a calendar event just like you guys got for this meeting, and it literally has a link for the Google Hangout. Like, I create a specific one. It says a specific like wording, usually community outreach or whatever. You can click that even when I'm not there. Like, you don't need to get an invite from me. You literally can sign on to your Google Hangouts, click, I'm on. So there's really no reason for you to be late or for you to be like, oh, I haven't been able to sign on. The link is literally there. If you go onto your Hangouts, the calendar will show up and literally tell you which meeting you have coming up and in how much time. So in terms of the technological aspect of it, there really isn't an excuse. And that just explains kind of what the proper rescheduling is. But with that being said, there are only 4 reschedules for the semester, but the semester is like 16 weeks, so that's not even that few. Definitely, I would say really consider what you need them for. If you give me, like, if you want to tell me your reason for your scheduling, you can, but the reason isn't going to change whether I consider it a reschedule or not. I give you 4, whether it's 3 because you have an exam or 3 because you wanted to watch Netflix. Whatever. But if you come to a 5th one and you have an exam, I'm sorry, you're used all 4. You miss another one after you've used all 4, it's a strike. And it's a miss one, give one. Doesn't matter what your excuse is aside from emergencies. And just emergencies won't fall into that reschedule, but definitely if, like, I don't want to say this and sound rude, but some people will use like the excuse of someone like passing away like a million times. Like, I don't think you have that many family members that passed away. So if you use the same excuse like a million times, I'm like, all right, come on. Like, you're kind of abusing the system at this point. So definitely use them wisely. And for the strikes, to give you guys an idea, it's 3 strikes, you're out, just like in baseball. The first one, like I said before, you will receive all of this to your personal email. So if you ever get an email from CBOB, besides like a newsletter or something like that, usually if you get an email from me directly to your personal account, it's not a good thing. First one is just going to be like a verbal through email warning, just telling you this is what the issue was, and it's really well documented for the most part. I tell you on this date, this is what happened, on this date, this is what happened or didn't happen. And this is what I want you to do to fix it. If everything gets fixed, okay, no big deal. There aren't really any other major consequences. When we get to strike 2, we go into a suspension. Sometimes it can be a probation. It's really to the discretion of myself and the other supervisors. But once we get to strike 3, it's that you will no longer be working with CBOB. I really don't think we've ever gotten to that point. I don't like giving out strikes. I really don't. But I have done it quite often because sometimes there are things that you need to address. And it's not something personal. It's just we need to get work done. And if there's constant mistakes, constant lack of communication, then there needs to be improvements. The bottom line with strikes is something needs to change and get better. Okay? So just to give you a general idea why someone would get a strike is missing a deadline, lack of communication. Lack of communication is huge. Like, we're not in an office. I don't see you every day in the morning when I walk in. If you don't talk to me all week long and like fall off the face of the earth, I have no idea what you've been working on or what you're doing. So you need to be communicating with me or I feel like you've done nothing. You might have been working every single day for 5 hours on CBOB. But if you don't talk to me at all about your work, I don't know that you've done it unless I go into your email and your drive. Let's see. Just to kind of touch on the completing your task and missing a deadline, let's say I assign something to you and I make it do a week that you have like 3 exams. Tell me that. If you tell me, hey, Tati, can we push this back like a little bit, or do you think, like, sometimes the answer might be no, because if we have an event coming up, I can't push things back when it's like the calendar literally doesn't let me push it back. So there's going to be cases I might not be able to, but then I'll tell you, why don't you ask this person for help, or rely on your team. Definitely, you can go to them first and be like, hey, I have this thing. Can you really help me? That's fine. That's why I keep saying communication is so important. If you're telling your team, like, this is a really hard time for me. Can I have an extension? Probably I'm going to give it to you. But you need to be communicating with me. If you ask me the day of, the answer is going to be no. Because you can't tell me like a couple hours, because I usually, like, I've given this example before. It sounds a little drastic, but let's say a PR and a graphic request is turned in. PR was waiting for the graphic request. The graphic wasn't completed, and then they're waiting on it, and then they haven't created a graphic. They haven't created a Facebook event. So then volunteers haven't been invited to the event. So then we don't have enough volunteers for the event, and then we don't have enough people to run the event. It's a big chain of events, but this is why we have deadlines. If that graphic isn't done in time, it pushes back PR. There's obviously things that we'll do to prevent this from happening. Like PR will just go ahead and do it, and Amanda's amazing, and she's never missed anything. So it's totally a ridiculous example, but just to give you guys an idea, this is why we have deadlines. Usually something you're doing, someone else is waiting for. So sometimes I will give you extensions if you ask for it. Others might not. I might ask you go talk to your team and figure out what you can do. And then sometimes I'll take it on myself if no one else can. I try not to do that, because just like you guys have a bunch to do, so do I. And to think all the things that I'm working on with you, I'm multiply that by about 15, because of all the other interns that I work with as well. Okay, everything cool? Checkpoint? Yeah. Any questions? No. I'm just saying things very well. Okay. So next one. That's actually a picture of Medellin, by the way. I love that city. I love Colombia in general. I'm Colombian, by the way. So we can go to this a little later, but I'll discuss it really quick, because after this, it's mostly just Google and that aspect of the internship. But we can go over your tasks after orientation, and we'll touch on it again afterwards. But can you click on that one? Yeah, I was going to ask. Okay. So these are your post-orientation tasks. So all of you guys, I want, even returning interns, I want you to email the board of directors introducing yourself. And you guys have this orientation, so you can find this link in there. If you use your CBOB email, you have access to everything. To view everything, you can't edit everything. So just when you email them introducing yourself, we'll go over this a little bit more later, but please use proper email etiquette, I guess you can say. To give you an idea, the board of directors, some of them are doctors, are went to Cornell and are doing these amazing jobs. They're very legit professionals. So please do not say, hey, whatever. Please be very professional and hi, board of directors, my name is such and such. This is my position in CBOB. I want to introduce myself. If whoever is works with fundraising would like to meet with me, and we can probably discuss my position and if we're going to have any interaction a little bit further, something like that. It's to open that line of communication between the board of directors and the interns. The board of directors have a lot of ideas and of goals that they want to accomplish, and a lot of the work that has to be done to accomplish these goals is going to come from you guys. So if they have no idea who the fundraising intern is, how are they going to meet that goal of however many thousands to reach the goal that they established for CBOB? That's the email, boardofdirectors@chbob.org. That emails all of them.
This might sound funny, but if you guys need help reviewing your email, please ask.
Yes.
I'm sure all of you are UF bright people, but really, if you're not sure, please ask, because like Kathy said, these people have real jobs, they're very intelligent, and we don't want to portray an image as not professional. We're all educated, we're all here at UF, and we need to show that our standards are high. So if you're not sure, ask.
Yes.
You can ask me, you can ask Betsy,
Mhm.
I don't know, Emma.
Now, you guys could literally, like, if you wanted to, screenshot it and put it in GroupMe, and we will all give you feedback if you wanted to. I really wouldn't mind. That's part of this internship as well, is learning little things like that you might have not even known you didn't know. Because I've seen people that can write amazing emails, while I've seen other people that create, like, not purposely, but have a lot of mistakes in their emails. So definitely double check it, spell check it. Capitalize your I's and whatnot.
Like, I write emails all the time, and sometimes I send my emails to Tati. I'm like, Tati, can you look at this, please, to make sure it's fine? Like, don't feel embarrassed. Like, believe me, we're here to help.
Yes.
I was about to say, we do that. Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea. I'm the executive director. I haven't said anything, I know. But I'll be jumping in. But we do that within ourselves. You know, like, I'm pretty sure I send Tati almost everything, if not anything. And we want to make sure everything that we sent out at any point represents CBOB. So we definitely do it within each other. And that's really what has helped us maintain, the level of professionalism.
No, definitely, like, feel free to ask me, like, anytime. This made me think of something. It's not necessarily, like, related to the board of directors, but if anything ever happens that someone aggravates you, or you felt like they didn't treat you right or something like that, before you kind of send them an angry email, please talk to me first. It might sound that not that bad when you're reading it yourself, but that's because you're thinking of it from your perspective. Once they get that, they might not take it that way at all. So please talk to me first, tell me your concerns, and I'd be more than happy to sit with you and kind of, how can we tackle this problem? It has happened in the past, and we've had it both ways, that someone talks to me and we solve it, and we've had it, they send something and then it comes back to us. Because a lot of times, once they receive a not so nice response, they're not going to go back to you and tell you, hey, I didn't really like that. They're going to go straight to me or Andrea and say, look at what your intern did. So we're always going to back you up. We want you to grow. Everyone will probably make a mistake at one point or another, just like I will probably do the same. But to avoid that, if you're ever in a situation like that, or you're ever not sure, please ask me. If you want to just talk something out that you're like, this volunteer told me this, it was so mean, I don't know what to do. We can talk about it. No big deal. We've probably dealt with it in some degree before. Okay, so back to your tasks. Sorry for the little tangent. So the most important thing you'll probably do this week, just in terms of how it's going to affect the rest of the semester, is set up your weekly meeting with your supervisor. So I'll tell you, if you're reporting to me, my preferred time is Monday, anytime after 1:30. Like, you set up with your team what time works for you. That's the best day for me. Go ahead.
Sorry, the bi-weeklies and the weeklies, is that always with you, or is that just with our team?
Okay, so you're fundraising. So you meet directly with me. For the weekly meetings, that's with me. But then with your team meeting, it's going to be with your partner, and you're actually going to work with Gato, because she's working on Gala, which is our biggest fundraiser of the year. So that's going to be your team meeting. So you're going to see that a lot of times the teams aren't necessarily just like your position title. It's going to go also across positions that kind of have things in common but aren't always working necessarily together. Yeah. But those team bi-weeklies, I'm not going to be there. I'm there through those minutes that you send. I will usually always respond to whatever you tell me in the minutes. Go ahead.
With the minutes, do we just have to put, like, the minutes where we have to add, like, other things? I'm not sure with that.
You can kind of basically do it however you want to do. That's one thing. If there are multiple people on the team, it shouldn't always be the same person sending it. I'll definitely say that when I send you guys the teams and all of that. You can send it like bullet form, like this is what we talked about. But with that, I obviously can't give you as much feedback. If you guys come up with questions for me, if you guys have any concerns, you can put all of that in there. It's just more like put what you talked about, and if you have anything that I can help you with, for sure. Yeah, and kind of sometimes when you put what you've talked about, sometimes it'll spark an idea for me, and I'll send it back. That's happened a few times. So I'd say relatively detailed, but not too much. Like it shouldn't be like a page long, but definitely put enough so that I can help you with anything. You're welcome. And then introduce yourself to your team is your other task. So let's see. You guys should have all been added to a GroupMe for your particular position. If you weren't added, it's probably because we don't have one for your position. But you can ask me. That would mostly be, I don't know if BFP has one. I didn't create that.
Group chat.
Okay.
So yeah, so I think we did all of them.
Cool. Okay, so then you guys are fine. I think fundraising was just one intern before, so I'll just create a group, but we don't necessarily have one. But everyone else should be in a group. If you weren't, just let
There's
me
just
know.
a mass group.
There's
It
one
wasn't a group
huge GroupMe.
So Samira, we're in like a text.
We're in. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so BFP
Yeah.
did just like disregard that.
Yeah. No, BFP has a group chat. Everyone else has a GroupMe chat. Yes. With that, if anyone doesn't have GroupMe, please download it. Like super important, because it doesn't tell me if you don't have it until like literally like way later, and then it's like, yeah, I've been receiving any of your messages, and I'm like, what? What do you mean? So it's not gonna tell me anytime soon. So if you don't have it, you don't know what I'm talking about, GroupMe, download it. But with that, we'll talk about it a little later, but important things are just going to be reiterated there. That's not going to be the first time you see things. And that's going to be a lot of, like, discussions. Like, people will post pictures of their puppies, you know, whatever. But any, like, really important information, you're going to see it in an email first. Okay? And then read the one-on-one document in your Drive. Some of you might not have it. Most of you do. Like, your email's not going to have it because you're the first person in that position. But the rest of you should have it. Read through it. If something doesn't make sense, like this was created by previous interns and they're kind of advice to you. By when they write this, they've been an intern for a semester. So some things like just this applies to me too. We use like certain words, certain phrases, or even refer to people so easily, so often that we might not remember that it's not something everybody knows because we've been working with it for so long. So definitely if you have any questions, you're not sure what they're talking about, like if they refer to a person over and over again, like who are they? You can definitely ask me. Yeah, so look over those, especially community outreach, because one of the first things you need to do, which I just remembered, is you need to contact for UF, especially is the Maria Eugenia, the director of Gators for Equal Opportunity. And we're going to be taking over tutoring, so that's another important thing we need to talk about. But that will be discussed in the weekly meeting. But just to give you an idea why it's so important to look at these, it's going to give you kind of a rundown of what's happened, what you're going to see happen in your position, kind of some of them has a lot of like just their advice to you. And then there's some tasks for specific positions. You can look through those later. Okay. Next one. Okay. So for becoming CBOB, a CBOB VIP intern, you guys had to fill out the paperwork. I was only missing Google Hangout screenshots from a couple of you. I think I told most of you. You already did the paperwork and training, so you guys are good. But the most important thing out of the slide is that we have a trial period. So if after 3 weeks, either CBOB or yourself feel that this isn't a good fit, then you can just let us know or we'll let you know, and that will be that, and we'll still be friends and hope to see you around. But if you feel that you're working and this isn't really right for you, just let us know, just like the other way around. But with that being said, I would say give it a chance in the sense that the beginning is, I'll be honest, pretty crazy because you're learning something completely new. You've never been in this position, or at least not with CBOB. it's new people, a new way of doing things. You might think that there's a better way of doing it, and that's fine. You can really share that with us. But yeah, like the beginning is pretty crazy. Then you'll get the hang of it, and I wouldn't say you necessarily have less, like spend less time with CBOB. We just accomplish more in that time, which is kind of what I've seen as well. You get like, you know how to do this. Like I don't even need to, like maybe you had to like you used to have to look at the tutorial before doing something on MailChimp, let's say. Now you can do it no problem, do it in 5 seconds, send it to me for the test, and you're good to go. So definitely I'd say in that aspect, give it some time because you're still learning a lot of this stuff. We use specific programs you might have never used before. Yeah. Any questions? So this is kind of what I alluded to before. Communication is so important because we are all virtual for the most part except these monthly meetings. Communicating is so important because that's our way of basically having cubicles next to each other. And basically we want to use communication to be a tool rather than an obstacle for our interns and for your supervisors and then for the volunteers and, you know, student chapter members and stuff like that. You guys can use, at least for me, I think this is probably applied to all of your supervisors as well. You can email me, you can text me, you can group me. If you want to use Facebook, sure. Like, however you want to get in contact with me, that's fine. If you'd rather call me, I just say probably text me first because if I'm in class, I'm not going to be able to answer your call. But yeah, you can use any form that works for you. If you have a group me for like your position or your team or whatever, and you'd prefer to, if you guys all prefer to use a group chat, we can do that too. Like, I don't mind how it happens as long as it happens. Okay. So the expectations for you guys is that deadlines. I love this phrase. The no excuse policy unless excused. So, like we've said before, you communicate with me, and I tell you, yes, it's fine. You can have an extension, or no, talk to your teammate. You know, whatever the case may be. Like you'll know if something is excused or not. But other than that, you really should be turning in everything that is assigned to you. One of my biggest things, and you'll see this when you interview someone, and I put on like the thing you need to fill out while you're interviewing someone, is I'm looking for people that are self-motivated. If you have a question, and I'm talking about like general questions, like how do you create a new doc on Google Drive? Literally, that's what you would have texted me. Put it in Google, you'll find the answer. That's what I'm talking about, self-motivated. Like, I had this idea. Tell me about it. We'll make it happen. You want to find the answer, you find it. And obviously, it's like CBOB specific. You can totally ask me. But that's what I'm saying. Go out of your way to find these answers, to create the best event that you could have created, to go above and beyond and really be proud of what you've accomplished here. You're also expected to do weekly updates with either the operations director, service trip directors, or your supervisor. It's really important, solid communication with other VIP interns. What does that mean? If, let's say, keep thinking about community outreach. You created the workshop and you created the PowerPoint, but you didn't tell your team. Then your other team member is going to create another PowerPoint with the workshop because they know it's due really soon. It's really important to talk to each other. And if you create, like, you have a blank PowerPoint, but all the thoughts are in your head, you need to tell your partner too, because if not, they're going to fill up the entire PowerPoint, and then you're going to be like, wait, I had all these ideas already, and you're doing double the work. So definitely communicate with each other, split things up. If you know that your strength is creating Canvas, then you can be the one that creates the Canvas. If your strength is creating a blog post, then that's what you can work on. Like, I don't know all your strengths right off the bat. I know from the activities you sent in who might be stronger in certain areas, but that activity was one activity. I haven't seen everything that you might work on. So definitely, as you go, if you see you're better at a certain aspect, you guys can definitely do that. You can say, hey, I'll take all the MailChimps, you take all the blog posts. If that's where your strengths lie, then obviously that's how we'd rather have you work. Very important part of this is mutual respect for time and work. I'll show you in a little bit. We have an office hours doc, which you'll be filling out. What I usually tell people is, let's say you need something, be it from me or from another intern, you can text them. Usually I use text if I need a fast response. Like I can't wait the 24 hours or whatever for them to respond to my email, and I need to know like ASAP, I'll probably text them. So let's say they don't respond to me and I'm like, what's going on? Then you want to check the office hours doc. They might be in class, they might be volunteering, they might be at work, just to give you an idea. Or because then you'll know, like, are they really super busy and they can't answer, or they just haven't gotten the text or whatever. That's one thing I'll say for me. When I'm volunteering, I'm not allowed to have my phone. I could want to answer you like so much, but I can't. And if I don't answer during that time, that's why. If you send me 20 messages asking me like, Tati, please answer, I can't. It's happened before. People will send me like question marks, and I'm like, I can't answer you. Like, what do you want me to do? So that's what I mean by mutual respect for time and work. If you know you need something, give the person ample time to answer you. If you know that you need to turn something in Wednesday and you need a response from somebody before then, at least get in touch with them on Monday, if not sooner. Do not wait until Tuesday night when you know you need to turn something in on Wednesday to ask them, like, oh, I need a quote for this blog. Well, too late now. So definitely, just like you want people to respect your time and what you have to work on, respect other people's. Like, if someone asks you for a quote, they're working on a blog. Then they know that blog needs to be posted by Friday. If you wait until Saturday to respond to them, then what good does that do anybody? So definitely, like, if they ask you, please turn it in by this time, it's for a reason, for the most part. So definitely try to respect how you would want to be treated is how you should treat other people in terms of when you ask them for things and whatnot. Okay, so this is a little thing that will hopefully help make communication a little better. It's kind of an idea of how you should put your email subjects for CBOB communication. Like, if you send this to someone outside of CBOB, they might have no idea why you're using this stuff. But you'll see me use this a lot. Action required. Basically, that should be like the red alert, like, you have to read this and you have to do something on here. And when you get an email like that, you should really try to open it right away to give you an idea of what you're going to have to do and how long you're going to have to do it. And yeah, like, be very specific. Like, if you ever send, like, a lot of interns will use this and they'll send it like this. Be specific, not like, I need this soon. You should say, I need this by Thursday at 5 p.m. so that they really know when you need it by and can really get it to you within that time frame. Because if you say soon, that can mean so many different things to so many different people. FYI, this is something that just you should read about it and know about it. That's not something that you should, like, as soon as you see this in your inbox, be like, oh my gosh, I need to read this right now. But it's definitely to your benefit to read it. I wouldn't disregard these emails by any means, but definitely know they're not, like, super urgent. Agenda, this is what you'll be getting from me and your supervisors every single week. It should be sent the day before your meeting. It's going to kind of just summarize what you're going to be talking about. It can include either, like, going over the tasks you had last week and then what your tasks are for next week and any questions I might have for you or you might have for me. But with that being said, that's not the end-all be-all for what we're going to talk about. If you want to add anything, you feel free to respond to my email and be like, hey, I also want to discuss this and this and that. I will do that sometimes, and I'll like resend you my email sort of, saying like, oh, and add this. Because if not, I will probably end up forgetting because I'm thinking about like the 20 other things I want to discuss with people. And then save the date. This is probably going to be like, let's say you set up a fundraiser and you're super excited about it and you want to make sure everyone's about it. Save the date, May whatever, or not May, like November whatever, and explain what the event is and just tell them like, put this on your calendar, make sure you're free, I want to see you guys all there, and we can all share in your excitement. So that's mostly what that's going to be about. That's another one that's not super urgent, but definitely you want to look at it. Like any email you get, you should look at it and really read it all. Like I've said this kind of before, if I took the time to write it, it's probably because I wanted you to read it. So kind of follow that with everybody. I know we are all busy. Try to read through all your emails and make sure that you're getting all the information you need. Next one. Low battery. Can I have your thing? So GroupMe and professionalism. So this doesn't only apply to GroupMe, but we've seen it a little more in GroupMe than we do in emails because people tend to be a little bit more formal in emails. But just so that you know, important correspondence, like I said, should be sent through email first. Like if there's something, like the best example is fundraising, like all UF interns, I need you at the fundraiser on Tuesday from 12 to 5, I need someone there. Okay, but if you put that in GroupMe only, then the chances of people actually showing up are slim and knowing about it and taking it seriously. But it's a whole different story if you, you email them, you have a little sign-up sheet, but definitely you can use GroupMe to remind them. That's what I kind of think of GroupMe as, like a big little reminder and just the fun chat with everybody. And then I'll always put like our meetings on there. So like you guys saw, most of these it shows up on your phone, and it's kind of my little way of telling you like you need to be at this meeting. If you forgot, here you go, and you'll definitely still have time to make it there. So usually the first one is an hour or 30 minutes before, and usually unless you're like in a different city altogether, you'll be able to make it at least to a computer if you really have to do it on Hangouts or something like that. Okay, I'll discuss emails a little later. Didn't want to click. Okay, so social media, VIP post requirements. This is something that we've had PR interns create. I'll just read it to you word for word because I liked what they came up with. As you all know, getting the word out about our amazing organization is a goal of ours, and the PR interns ask 3 favors from each of you to keep in mind when using social media. If there's a graphic flyer for a big upcoming event, please try to make it your profile picture. It's simple but effective. And please share / retweet at least 2 CBOB posts a month. Just kind of friendly reminders to all your friends that you work for CBOB. And to please, help us out. If they're in Gainesville, go to a fundraiser. If they're your parents, maybe they can donate book bags, something like that. And then show love to all our posts, please. Like all our posts because there is power in numbers. It's definitely really nice to see something like on our Instagram with like 30-something likes instead of like 10. Or, sometimes, especially, well, I'll tell you guys, sometimes for like if it's like, actually no, I'm going to give away things we're going to do. Like if we tag you in something like, and it's mostly because we want your family to see it, we want other people to see our page. If you feel uncomfortable with me tagging you in anything, just let me know. I would definitely take it off, like it's no big deal. But I will probably be doing that. If you're in a picture or something, we'll probably tag you. And definitely just like, you come across the post, just like it, so that we can have a little stronger social media presence.
Okay, and if we have an event and you know anyone that's in that town, try and invite them. Try to get the word out to more of your work friends so they can come to it. Again, we're volunteers and whatnot, so
yes,
that's good to have too.
I 100% agree with that, but also don't invite all of your Facebook friends.
Yeah, don't do that. Only like a select.
Yes, because I have seen that before that I'm like, whoa, this just went to like 300 invites. And then I look and I'm like, okay, half these people are nowhere near Gainesville. So it's like, why would they even go to a fundraiser at Panda Express or something in Gainesville? Like, why would they drive all the way over here for that? So definitely just be selective about who you pick. Like, definitely, like, all your Gainesville friends, put them on there. But, or, like, if it's in Orlando, whatever. But don't invite, like, every single person on your Facebook because that's just too much. So, everything making sense?
Kind of going off of that too, like word of mouth is also great. Like Facebook is awesome, but like when you talk to people physically, like they're probably gonna have more of like, oh, like I saw Alexia, sorry, I saw her the other day. Oh, I need to go to Blaze for this,
Mhm.
like instead of just like a Facebook.
Yeah, for sure. Like, invite your friends, invite your roommates, invite your boyfriends, whatever. Anyone can go to these events. Like, it doesn't, I don't care if they're in CBOB or not. Like, the more the better. Maybe they'll become involved after this. Our goal is to expand and to, like, every little bit that we raise, it really does go straight to CBOB. Like, it's going to go to a CWOB workshop that you might even be volunteering at. Like, all of this money gets used mostly for the kids. There's very few things that we pay for that aren't directly for the kids or our scholars or something like that. I don't remember what else. Any questions? Who has questions? So, like I said, we're going to talk about emails a little bit. So we have a little acronym that we like to use that's RAFS: respectful, appropriate, friendly, timely, short, and concise. Please don't write novels. I can guarantee you no one's going to read it. Sometimes I have to write novels because I don't have a choice and people don't read them, even though it's all very important information, I promise. Always be respectful, so introduce yourself. That's something that drives me crazy. It's probably one of my CBOB pet peeves, where we don't know what your name is until your signature at the end. Like, they have no idea who sent this email until they see, ooh, signed by Tati Paz. Because you should start with, if you've never talked to them before, like, hi, my name is so-and-so, and this is my position, like, and I'm the fundraising intern for Children Beyond Our Borders. Perfect intro. They know your name, they know what you do, and they know who you work for. If you don't explain any of that, they're going to be completely lost with the rest of your email. It should be appropriate, so definitely consider who you're talking to. With your supervisors, it's going to eventually become more casual, but it should never become disrespectful. So it should always still say, like, hi, whatever. You know, I will still always say, like, hi, Samantha, hi, Carissa, you know, whatever. But it doesn't have to be, like, dear Tati, or, you know, it's like, it doesn't have to be that formal, definitely, but still with a level of respect. I will still respect you in all my correspondence to you, and I'd like the same in return. You going to say something?
Yeah, for me and my team, I beg you, please put the date of the event. Like, I work with community outreach, and if you guys have an event, if the email is about that event, don't tell me tell me the name, but put the date. Mm-hmm. Because it's very difficult to keep track of, like, the dates, and sometimes I have, like, a whole bunch of events going on. Please put the name and the date of the event that you're talking to me about. Mm-hmm. It's easier for me to do my job, easier for me to report to Tati about whatever the event is. So please, I'll remind you this date before I forget. Please do it.
Yeah. No, for sure. A lot of times we'll also have the same theme across different cities. Oh, yeah. That's when it becomes extremely confusing. So definitely try to use little things like that will make it easier for the person to know exactly what you're talking about, whether it be within CBOB or outside of CBOB. Something I like, for us it doesn't really apply, but if you're ever talking to someone outside of CBOB, try to be in contact with them during regular business hours. Don't email them at 1 a.m., please. You can email me whatever time you want. I don't mind. I will probably at some point email you at, like, 1 in the morning or 3 a.m. Miss 3 a.m. right here. She's turning all her graphics at 3 a.m. But definitely, like, within CBOB, it's not that big a deal. Like, we're all students for the most part. So it's fine because we all have that weird schedule. Not everyone outside of here is going to be a student. So that's why I asked you guys, you know, that 8 to 6, you know, maybe a little bit before 8, maybe, like, up to 7 max. But definitely nothing in the, like, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., whatever. Do not email someone outside of CBOB, please. And you also want to be friendly. You know, you're respectful. You still want to be friendly. And, yeah, the appropriate kind of goes a lot into who you're emailing. So you might talk to a board director a little bit different than you talk to, you know, a volunteer that's already been to 5 events. So definitely take that into consideration. And when emailing outside of CBOB, always copy your supervisor, mostly because a lot of times we told you, please email so-and-so for whatever reason. And if you might have done it, but we have no idea because you didn't copy us. But with that being said, if you know it's going to be a long correspondence, do not copy me every single time. Just copy me at the end or forward it to me at the end, whatever. But it doesn't have to be like every single time. It can just be like, you know, once the conversation is finished, everything's been figured out, forward it to us. If you know it's just going to be one email and they might not even respond, just CC us. Any questions about any of that? No. Okay. I'm gonna drink water really quick. You guys can do that. This is like the off the raft. Guys, I've read it. You get an idea how this is totally not what you should, how you should talk to somebody. Like, if you want to tell me thanks a bunch, like, you're welcome a bunch. Like, that's totally fine, no big deal. But not to anyone that you're contacting formally. And, like, stuff like guys and that you have a cut, like, that's, like, you wouldn't even, I really hope you would never talk to me like that either. Like, or your partners, anything like that. You know, you want to have that level of, like, gain that level of respect and for them to consider you like a professional, and hopefully, like, when they see, they're like, oh, wow, you're a college student. I'd rather that be the reaction, or, oh, of course. You know, so that gives you an idea of what's off the raft. Definitely just the signature really quick. Sign your full name. Like, you guys can refer to me as Tati. I prefer Tati, actually. But my signature is still Tatiana Paz. So this is on the raft. I don't really use to whom it may concern, but you can use whatever you would like. But that is kind of what we talked about before, you know, saying your name, what you do. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. And that signature we're going to talk about in a little bit, but you guys should all have this. It doesn't have to look 100% like mine, which we'll discuss right now. It should include your name, shouldn't run our borders, ink, yes, ink has to be there every single time, your position, and a way to reach you. If you don't want your phone number on there, that's fine. You can put just your email. I have my phone number and my email because I have a lot of, like, potential interns and stuff like that getting in contact with me.
You can share an email because I saw Lauren did.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's a former intern. It's fine. And so I changed it. And then when she introduced herself, I was like, oh my goodness, I just changed her email.
So I was actually going to, that's really important. But the way it should look, that's why it says /names. It should say, like, Alexia, I don't know how to say your last name, Moffitt? Okay. And Lauren Day. Okay. And then whenever, it depends. So if you're contacting someone, like, outside, you might want to just sign your name and then your signature. For me, 100% please do that, especially if you're, like, sending minutes and stuff. Like, I have no idea who sent it, who I'm talking to, what conversations we've had. I'm just like, okay, cool. Like, there's 2 people on your email, but I don't even know who I'm talking to. So please, for me, or even sign, like, just your initial. That would be fine for, like, internal things. Like, external, definitely put your name. But for me, please, like, as I've run into that so many times, like, tell me which one of you it is that's getting in touch with me. And things you can also include is our website and our Facebook page. You can literally, if you want, you can copy paste from my email, which I've sent to you guys. You can literally copy paste that and edit it to your own position, name, whatever. Or you can get it from here. But because both of those links work. That is mostly for them, like, if you are first emailing someone, they have a way to get to both of our main forms of, like, external, like, media. So that's why I like to have it on there, but you guys don't have to. But I would definitely recommend it. And then your phone number, that's the one that's 100% up to you. If you don't feel comfortable having it there, don't put it. But definitely have your email.
Tati, is this where you want me to talk about email sharing? I don't see a slide for it.
Yes, there isn't really a slide for it, but yes, if you could talk about that.
Yeah, I'll talk about that now because I thought about some relevant things that you mentioned. Hi, everyone. Juanita again. So I have been in this position since September 2013, and I've always had a partner. So Emma is new in this particular position with me as my partner this semester. Our old person who was with us, her name is Anna, and Anna and I developed lots of ways over the past 3 years on how to share emails, and then Emma and I have already had very direct, very intentional conversations about how we're going to share not only our position but our email. So if you are sharing a position with someone, you have the same title, and you are sharing an email, it's really important to communicate directly and intentionally about how you're going to do that. So some tips that I have are, when you get an email and one of you reads it, it's now marked unread even for the other person. So it's important to talk about with your partner how you're going to go about making sure that both of you read all the important information in your email. So one example would be, after I read the email, I mark it as unread again until I know that the other person has seen it. Or read the information, and if it's just those FYI and little things, or it's not relevant to you, leave it as is, and then if it is relevant, maybe star it or flag it so that the other person knows to look there for important information. And always communicate with your partner is the most important thing. So if you get a really important email or something that needs a response right away, text that person or group me or call, whatever you decide is the most easiest way for you to communicate with your partner. Just say, hey, we got an email from so-and-so, what do you think, whatever. One thing that Emma and I have kind of worked on this semester that I think has been working so far, and I think is a good general guideline to follow, is if it's an official email to someone, like let's just say yesterday I emailed our new 3 new interns, and that is Emma and I are on the same page in what we want to say. It's more of an official email. I will leave the general signature that says both of our names. But then let's say Amanda sends us the next edit on a graphic she made for us. We each probably have a different opinion, so I'm going to go ahead and respond and say, this looks really good, here's some feedback I have, and I'm going to sign my name at the end. So again, just like Tati said, if it's something that is probably specific to you, you want to sign your own name. And I think communication is obviously the most important thing to sharing your email and your position, but I hope that you find time in this first week or next week to have a deliberate conversation with your partner so that this can be easy for you the rest of the semester. It's okay to decide one way that works and then decide later it doesn't work and change it, but be very deliberate about your conversations on email so that you don't miss anything important, because that can definitely happen. If you have any questions about that, sharing positions or emails, you can always talk to me or Emma.
Yeah. And with that, Juanita kind of talked about it a little bit. Missing an email, if you tell me oh, I didn't do that because I didn't see the email, unfortunately, that's not a valid excuse. Communication is so important mainly because of that. If you saw an email and you know it's really important, shoot that text that'll take 5 seconds asking your partner, hey, did you see that email too? How do you want to work on this? That will prevent from one person reading it and the other not. And definitely I would encourage you, maybe I would suggest, if not really require, you check your email at least once a day. Let's say before you go to bed, you just look through your email. I would still skim the ones that are recent and are unread just to make sure you didn't miss anything. It's on you if you miss something. It's not I didn't see it. It was unread. That's not my fault. No one else's fault. That's a communication issue. But we definitely can't let something slide by because it was missed in an email. Okay? Okay. So this kind of shows you where to edit this email signature. You'll go into your Gmail, and then you just go to the little screw thing for the settings, and then you scroll down to the signature and you edit it. With that being said, a lot of you might have your email on your phone. Make sure that that also has your signature. At least for me, it doesn't transfer over automatically. I have to change it on both. And also, like, you can tell when it's sent from a phone. You might, like, you can edit. This is totally not on here, but I just know these things. You can edit your signature per email address. So it's like your UFL has one signature, your CBOB one can have a totally different one. And you'd probably want to take off the sent from my iPhone, which you can do. You guys probably haven't realized when I send it from my phone and when I send it from my computer, because they should be the same signature one way or the other. Any questions about that part? Are you raising your hand? Oh, sorry. No, you're fine. Okay, so Google. Every semester there's someone with questions about this, like throughout the semester at any point. If you want to Google it, you can. If you want to ask me about it, you totally can. If you want to ask your team, whatever. Just make sure if you're uncertain about something, ask. Whoever you want to ask, just ask. So Google Hangouts. This is probably, hopefully, something you're going to learn to love, if not, probably hate. This is what your page can look like. There's different kind of parts of Google Hangouts. But if you go here, you can see exactly like what's coming up and who's going to be calling you, or you can start a call. That's one thing. Like, I have them all set up that you can literally click and log on. Please don't try calling me, because chances are if I'm like 2 minutes late, it's because my other meeting ran over, not because I'm like trying not to talk to you or something. So if I'm like hearing that like coming in, I'm like, I can't finish this meeting if you're calling me in the middle of another. Like, so all those links are set up that you can literally sign on right away. For the first couple weeks, I will also be like, I'll always be inviting you to the call. I'm not really going to be emailing the link unless you haven't been able to figure out this aspect of it. But I definitely play around with it. If I had my computer, I would show you mine. It literally, like, the way I have it is it comes up and it's literally just a list on the right of all my meetings. And I click them and I go into them. You can have it that way too. That's kind of like one, like a different page from this one. But this one will always show you as well. So definitely, they're really meetings, and then bi-weekly meetings, like your team meetings. If you want to meet in person, since so many of you are at UF and you feel more comfortable meeting in person, go for it. I have absolutely no problem with that. For weekly meetings, we will keep them on Hangouts though, because getting to campus is annoying. And then monthly meetings will still be here, because it's really bad to have this many people on Hangouts. It's literally a nightmare. No one wants to experience it. So we will have all of our monthly meetings like this, and it's really nice that we only have a couple people on Hangouts. Okay, so your Google Drive. This is like just part of what mine looks like. Yours looks a little bit different. You're not going to have as many programs on there and stuff. But this is just to show you that you can create a new document. Just click that new button. Like, Google's pretty user-friendly, I'd like to think. So you just click that new button, and this is the most important part of this. You can upload a Word document if you have to. I prefer not using Word documents, but for example, for grants, most of them are submitted as a Word document. So you still need to upload the grant so that we can reference it in the future. So that can be uploaded that way, or for example, you have a graphic or something like that, you can upload it that way. But other than that, you should be creating Google Documents, because I can put comments on there, I can tag you, it's going to send you an email. I love using that aspect of it. So unless you absolutely have to, please don't upload it, but I'm letting you know that that's definitely an option and shouldn't deter you from using Word if you have to, or from uploading something. Because basically everything you create for CBOB should be on the drive. One, for someone else that comes along to be able to use it, and also for us to be able to find it later on. So sharing. You should always, as soon as you create something, literally, if it doesn't have anything on there, it's not a big deal. You just share it with me or your supervisor or both. For anyone that has, like, it sounds bad to say like a supervisor under me, but like if your supervisor is either Alejandra or Estefania, whenever you create a document, share it with me too. Oftentimes, I will also be checking your things. Every so often, I might join your meeting if you want my feedback or if I want to kind of just pop in and check on the team. So you'll still be seeing me around even though I'm not your direct supervisor, and I will definitely always be giving you feedback. Like, I absolutely love CWAB, so I probably get more involved with that than I probably should, just because I love working with it. PR I find super interesting. I know very little about, but I love working with it too. So definitely always share it with me, especially like blog posts and stuff. I will edit a lot of like the grammar and stuff like that. But in terms of sharing, this is something huge for me. When you share something with me, give me editing access. Like, technically, I can go into your email and do it for you, but I'd rather not. I try and, like, once I give you your email, it's your email. You run it the way you want to. I really try not to log into your things unless I absolutely have to, which has happened, I think, like, twice in a semester before. So definitely when you share it with me or your supervisor, give them edit access. That way they can, you know, if they see a little misspelling, they can go ahead and change it instead of asking you, like, hey, can you please change this misspelling on line 27, you know. And then, but with that being said, if you, let's say for Gala, you create like a sponsorship letter, you don't want everyone editing it. So you just give them view. You just say that you share it with whoever you want and that they can only view it. If you want someone to give you feedback, you don't want them to be able to change it, just put that they can comment. Something you'll see me use all the time is send things via link. That's how I sent you this orientation. It works with Gmail, it works in presentations, it works in Google Docs, it works everything in Google. You can put a link. So I should never see like the HTTP docs.google, like this thing this long of a link, because you can literally name it whatever you want. It's like a little like circular thing. Like it looks like a replay thing in the corner. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I can show it to you later. And this is something important for you guys to know because I've been asked a lot of times before and people freaking out like, I can't find this thing, I have no idea where to look. You guys literally have the power to look up anything in CBOB. Whether you've created it, someone else has, it's from like 2010, you can still find it. As long as you have a general idea of what it's called. So you go, and it's literally like hidden, which is probably why people get confused with it sometimes. So you go to like that little search box on top on your Google Drive. It has to be on your Google Drive. And then you see that tiny little arrow. You click on that, and then you put search. You're going to put search all of chbob.org. And then that's how, like, all file types, unspecified, and then you click the little box that says search chbob.org. Literally any document in CBOB will show up. And you type in, like, if I needed the orientation document, you just type in orientation, or think of generally what it might be. It happens sometimes that you don't hit this exact name of, like, it doesn't have to be exact, just generally, like, what it's called. You might not be able to find it then. That's probably when you can ask somebody. But this is a tool that you guys all have and can easily access things even if you weren't the one that created it or anything like that. The calendar. That's where you're going to have weekly meetings. If you want to put your bi-weekly meetings on there, you can. I won't be doing that for you, but you can definitely do that for your team. And other important events. If we schedule it with enough time in advance for the monthly meetings, I will definitely put them on there. I forgot to talk about this before, but basically the way the monthly meetings work is I want you guys all to be there. That's the whole point of it. So I send out a doodle, and literally I'm completely unbiased. I pick the day that has the most. I don't even know who it is. I don't look at the names for the most part. I just look that if this one has 19 and this one has 18, I'm going with the one that has 19. And the way the reschedules work for those two. So if you really can't make it, that counts as a reschedule. So you'll have to, those work a little different. You'll watch like a recording of it. You're not going to have to sit in with me or something like that. So, but your 4 reschedules also go towards that if you can't make it. But like if you put on the doodle that you can't make it, that doesn't mean you're like free and clear. That doesn't count. There's only one per month, so technically you could probably miss almost every single one of them, and that'd be all your reschedules. So I don't think it's super crazy to ask that you guys try and be there for that time. If you really can't, it'll just be a reschedule. But same thing applies. Like if you completely don't tell me that you're not going to be there, it's a miss one, give one. Any questions about that? And I put like alerts on these as well. For the most part, I think I do like 30 and 15 minutes or 30 and 10 minutes. The 30 minutes is the same thing. Like if you completely forgot about the meeting, it's kind of like your little safeguard that you can still make it somewhere at that time, within that time. And the 10 minutes is kind of me like, hey, you better be ready. We're about to go. So hopefully that will prevent you from ever accidentally missing your meeting. Your Google Drive will look a lot like this. If it doesn't, obviously the names are going to be a little different because it's not Fall 15 anymore. But it should look something like this. You guys all have the official logo. Do not, 100% do not get our logo from Google. That's the only thing you can't look up on Google. That's not a high resolution logo. Everything in official logo is high resolution. And you can use it anywhere. It's not going to come up like all blurry. And that applies to CWOB logos, regular CBOB logos, BFP logos, now VIP logo, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Any questions about that? So, I completely missed something on this page. Can you go back to the Medellin page? It's like right before the little kid holding the sign. So I accidentally missed something on this page. It's your office hours. I talked about it, but I didn't show it to you guys. And this is something that sometimes people get confused about. So, little fun fact about Google, the sheets. At the bottom is where you find all the sheets. So some people got a little confused when they were signing up for round 2 interviews. At the bottom, you literally click one of those things. It's a completely different sheet. It's almost like having 20 million Google Docs in one. All the returning interns, I kept you there, but obviously you need to edit it to apply to whatever it is now. But you guys have access to this. You go into it, you put your schedule. I can show you mine. I put on there kind of to give you an idea of when it's going to be hard for me to answer. Depending on the class, I will probably answer. Lab, I probably 100% won't, because they're all like, put it in your backpack, blah, blah, blah. And volunteering, I literally like can't. Like I think they literally will like call shams on me. So yeah, during the volunteering time, that's really like probably the only time I will really not be able to answer you. Lab will be difficult. Class, I will try. I might let you know, like if it sounds like it's going to be a long conversation, I'll probably let you know, hey, I'm in class, let's talk about this a little bit later. And that's what I was talking about being respectful of kind of time and what needs to get done. Like if you know, if we're going to have a lengthy conversation, I'll definitely let you know. If like, hey, right now I can't really have like a super long conversation. Can we talk like at 10? That's when I get out of class. Something like that. So definitely put things like work, class, volunteering. Some people go as far as putting when they're going to do homework, when they're going to work on CBOB. You want to do that, knock yourself out. I have no problem with that. If there's any specific notes you want to put up there, a lot of people do like when they'll be out of town or something like that on the side. Like I think Juanita has that. But as you can see on hers, she doesn't know her schedule 100% yet, and she put, I will know it at this time. That's okay. Just let me know that that's the case. Like if you're still figuring out your schedule, it's not going to be done until the last day of drop ad. Okay, that's fine. Just we need to like keep updating this. Like if that might be a bad example. Like if you drop a class or you get a new job or you get a new volunteering session, whatever, add it on there throughout the semester and just let me know. Because I might have like remembered that you have class from like 9 to 10 because I always text you from 9 to 10 and I know that by now. And let's say you're not there anymore or you're not at work the times you usually are anymore, then we definitely, it helped to know. So definitely just update this as your schedule changes. And if you don't know right now, that's okay. Just put a little note on there, like I'll know after a certain date.
Quick question. Are you familiar with the NOTA program at Shands?
The what?
NOTA, like no one does alone.
Mm-mm.
So that's a program where it's like all the, like, you know how you have like a specific volunteer shift,
Mm-hmm.
like 2 to 5.
Yeah.
So that one is like on call.
Mm-hmm.
So would I write that like on the side, like these are my on call nights or days, just in case?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can put that on the side if it's something that you're somewhat available, but like let's say something came up like
they
being on call,
like, hey.
exactly. Like you can definitely put that on the side, being like I may or may not be able to answer during these times.
I want to add something to that because it sounds like we're super stalkerish. We really just utilize this for I would say almost like emergency or like we need an immediate response. Like not every time we ask you are we going to go into this office hours and see where you are or why you're not answering. Most of the time we'll give you 24 hours to answer something, but then if we know the question is dire or like if we know that it's something like it can't wait for whatever reason, that's when we go in there and we're like, okay, when can we get a hold of her or him as soon as possible? So yeah, it's definitely just a tool to help us understand, but other than that, we give you plenty of time to respond and stuff, and yeah.
Really the only times I've used that is if like I needed something like pretty soon and then they hadn't answered for like hours and I'm like, what is going on? And most of the time I check and it's like, oh, they're in class, oh, they're at work, whatever. But definitely, like we've talked about already, like just answer as soon as you can. Definitely, like I'm not gonna tell you like get in trouble in class texting because you wanted to respond to a CBOP question. No, like we don't need to go that far. But definitely try and answer as soon as you can. If like you see a bunch of texts coming in, you can, and if you're able to, just be like, hey, I'm in class, hey, I'm at work. I'll text you as soon as I can. That's fine. And yeah, like she said, we're gonna use this mostly for that purpose, so that like let's say you're in class and I need the answer to 5 questions, then I won't text you and like blow up your phone when you're in class. So that's mostly what we use that for, and like you guys can use it for that purpose as well. Like to look and see why your teammate might not be answering you. And right at the end, can you go to the like last little tab that says duplicate this?
Which one?
Like in the office hours thing.
Okay.
Go like scroll. No. Gotcha. Yeah. So you'll go to this one. You literally just click it and put duplicate and put in your own information. Just don't edit anybody else's, please. Has happened before. Just duplicate it, put your own info, and make sure to put your name at the bottom. If not, I'm gonna have like 20 copy of duplicates, and I'm not gonna know who's who. Any questions about any of that? Okay, we can go back to where we were before. The last little thumbs up. So does everyone feel comfortable with what I've discussed about Google? Any questions? Like, really, there are no dumb questions. There might be someone else thinking the same exact thing you're thinking. No? Any questions on Hangouts? Okay, cool. So just to give you guys a little idea, the semester project that we have is Gala. Gala is kind of the best way to explain it is like a CBOP prom. It's not like you need to get a date and get a corsage and all this stuff, but you know, you wear like a nice dress. Doesn't have to be like super fancy like prom, but you know, usually people wear like a long dress. It's when most, like you'll probably see the most amount of CBOBers all together. Maybe just only other time is spring retreat. And then we'll probably have a lot of board members there, a lot of donors, you know, special guests. We already have a bunch of silent auction items. We'll kind of, it's almost like looking at the year in review of what we've been able to accomplish, what we're looking forward to, and recognizing the people that have really made a big impact in CBOB. So that's another thing that if maybe while you're working you might get nominated for an award for Gala at some point. But Gala is October 22nd at the Florida Hotel in Orlando. Our headquarters are in Orlando. We don't necessarily have a office like Children Beyond Our Borders Inc. Office, but we definitely, that's our headquarters, our P.O. box is there, that's where our address is on our website and whatnot, just in case anyone asks you. Then another project that we're kind of working on is recurring donors, so trying to get people that on a regular basis, whether it be like once a month or something like that, donates to CBOB or a specific program within CBOB. And then alumni relations, so really keeping those relationships with people that have either been in VIP before, Bound for Peace, or in the chapter, and kind of keeping them even throughout, throughout their years in college and then also afterwards. And those are all the scholars, and Yosimar is also there. And welcome to the family. Do you guys have any questions, comments? Anything you're unsure about?
The emails for the supervisors after the meeting. Like, my team is getting an email after this meeting, so we can kind of work on the times. So it'll be like when I get home, or maybe here, but before the night ends, or before you wake up tomorrow, you'll have an email from me, kind of set up time and whatnot.
Yes. You will probably be getting at least 3 emails by tonight or tomorrow morning from someone in this room. And I'll also be sending kind of like a little recap either today or tomorrow so that you guys have a little easier access to all these documents that I've talked about. Definitely, like, if you think of any questions as you're working on anything or when I send that email, feel free to ask. You can always ask on GroupMe too. Like, it might be beneficial if you ask there because someone might have the same question that you do. Okay.
Hi, can I say something? Because you know I have to. Hi, Keegan. Welcome back. Oh my God! Look at all these gators. Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Andrea. I'm the executive director. Sorry I'm late. Tati usually runs this meeting anyways, and I try to avoid talking because I can talk all day. But welcome to the team. We're very, very excited to have you. We don't select just anyone, and it's really wonderful to see new people who come and hear about CBOB. Like Tati said, or it's a lot of information to take in, but overall it was literally 40 slides of communication, and feel free to communicate with us anytime that you need to. And use this is as much as you give. It doesn't matter what background you have or what your dreams take you. I can say that working for a nonprofit has literally developed all of my skills around, whether it's dealing with people, leadership, training. It's a really broad scope. So definitely take advantage of the opportunity, whether you're overwhelmed or you don't feel like you're being worked enough, which doesn't usually happen. Just let us know. We can always give you more work or get work off of your hands because we are a team. Everyone here, especially the supervisors, they're in that role because they have either always stepped in to help someone else, and or they're willing to do it. So, and that's the kind of team that we're looking for. Many people love absolutely the program. They don't actually believe that we're a nonprofit completely ran by interns. It's completely mind-blowing to them, but it's worked, and we've done a lot over the last 3 years that has really blown people away. People really recognize this team as professionals, and we've been able to take a lot of interns into much bigger and greater things outside of CBOB. So definitely take advantage of all the alumni relations, of all that you're going to learn for the semester, and use us. We're here for a reason. So yeah, welcome to the family.
To kind of go off what she said, like to give you guys
kind of real examples. Like we've had interns. Like I'm not just saying that you're gonna learn these things. Like we've had interns that because of working with CBOB, they've landed with a dream internship or a really hard class to get into because of like whatever they've been able to present. We've had a lot of scenarios like that. Like they eventually like leave CBOB and go on to these better things, but we're happy that they've learned so much and that we've allowed them to take that one step further into like their dreams and where they want to eventually end up. So I definitely think that you guys are going to learn a lot. And I think the special thing about I think nonprofits in general, but also specifically CBOB, is these skills will apply to any career you go into. And a lot of you have chosen what position you want, so it also gears toward what you want to do. But definitely like the general professional skills and even other things you learn, like how to interact with people and all that, you're going to apply everywhere. Doesn't matter if you're going into healthcare, business, PR, whatever, you're definitely going to end up using this at some point.
And I wanted to say too, even though like Tati said, a lot of interns move on and do amazing work, but also one thing I love about CBOB among the many things is that you can always grow in your position or move up. It's not like this really corporate, like formal setting where like you're at the bottom, little worker bee on your computer. You have the ability to start programs, create initiatives, start a campaign, do really amazing, exciting, important work. If that's something that's interesting to you, you can go through this whole semester and just do your assigned tasks and we'll be happy with you and you'll be happy with us. Or you can take it and run with it if this is something that you're really passionate about. There's always room to, a couple people in this room were promoted this semester or sometime this year. And so people who have initiative and great ideas, like there's always room to incorporate that. I don't think ever there's been like someone says an idea and the response is like, no, ew, I hate that idea, like we can't do that. It's always like, oh, interesting, like didn't think about that, like let's see how we can incorporate it into what we're already doing. So please keep that in mind, is you're not worker bees. We don't hire worker bees in CBOB because we can do that ourselves. We hire people who have ideas, initiative, experience, and passion for the things that they do. And that's what's really brought CBOB to where it is now, and that's what's going to help us continue to grow in the same way over the next however long you're with us.
And that goes to like if you have an idea for something that isn't directly like in your position or on your team, definitely share it. Like you can even text me about like random things that you want to start in CBOB. I've had people do that before and I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. We should totally look into that. Like if we know about a program, about anything, you can definitely talk to me and we can see if we can implement it for sure. That's one of my favorite things from interns, that they have these great ideas that I didn't even think about, and we can totally make them work. Really quick, before you guys leave, I want to introduce to you guys more in depth to 3 important people. Do you guys have any questions before we do that? No? Okay, so Alejandra, Estefania, and Amanda are going to talk a little bit just because you're probably gonna be interacting with them a little more. Like they're gonna be probably the people you interact with the most outside of your position. Okay. Who wants to go first?
Yeah, go first. I talk a lot, so.
Can you hear her?
Not today. So yeah, like I said, I'm Estefania. I'm the econ major third year. I love my position, which is volunteer coordinator, because I get to work with all of the cities and the workshops they do for the kids. Worked with all the workshops in Florida. Everything that happens in Florida, I do that. I revise all the workshops and I give ideas as well as take ideas on what these workshops should be on or how to do them. My position is very cool because I get to learn as well as the other interns get to learn. Like I'm not trying to impose anything at all. I get to learn a lot about what my team has to offer, and then they also get to learn a lot about what I have to offer. And that's it. I basically revise, and I'm also in charge of the professional development side a little bit. Thaddeus and I develop the activities that you guys will be doing every month. So we try to do the best we can on that so that you guys can develop as a professional, you know, try to touch on some skills. And that's it. Like if you need anything, you can talk to me. Even if you're not on my team, I don't mind. Believe me, I talk a lot. So you can talk to me. I will help you. I will try to, with the emails, like I said earlier, if you need help with professionals, like emails and how to be more professional, I will be able to help you. And that's it. I love my position. I teach also English, so that's why I love this position so much. And that's it.
Once again, I'm Alejandra Benjumea, and I'm the Public Relations Director. Really nice to see that. I got promoted. Whatever. Doesn't matter. So please be sure to like and follow all of our social media pages. It's a representation of our organization, and we get a lot of interactions with possible volunteers, donors, and people generally interested in CBOP. In regards to PR requests, please submit the requests ahead of time. And if you're working on multiple events, please try to not send the requests all at once because it's slightly overwhelming to just be sitting on the couch watching TV and then like your like phone has a spasm because you get like 8 requests for like different vendors. And please be specific, like such as with CWAP events, it's nice to have an idea of the events that you planned or the themes. Generally like what you want people to be interested in. And also mention if a graphic request has been submitted, so as we won't create a Canva and I will clash with Amanda. I'll be emailing all of VIP with extra information as well as any other ideas that will come to me as I drive home. And Amazon Smile is really important because the holidays are coming up, and if you have family members who use Amazon a lot to buy gifts, or if you use it, or to buy your books, you can sign on to Amazon Smile, and a percentage of, like I don't know, you know the percentage?
It's like 0.5%, but it makes a difference.
0.5%, but like it adds up, and if your family members use it, if you use it, like it's really helpful for CBOP. So please be sure to do that before you make any Amazon purchases.
There was like a creepy dude walking around. Yeah, like definitely, I'll tell you, we get, I think it's close to like $20, $25 a month sometimes from Amazon Smile, which surprises me. Well, not surprises me, but it's like, whoa, people spend a lot of money on Amazon. Because it is a small percentage, but every little bit makes a difference. Definitely, I'll tell this to community outreach. Whenever you're buying something for your events, we're going to use Amazon Smile if we can. Because obviously we're going right back into our own pockets to give more to the workshops.
All right, so most of them I'm going to say is what said because PR requests and graphic requests are kind of similar, but at least if you need like a graphic, 2 to 3 days, I would say for me, I don't know about Caitlin yet, how many days she needs to make a graphic would be best. If you don't know if there's a graphic request in, just ask me. I will tell you if there is. Mostly PR and graphic requests just kind of go hand in hand. If you send in a graphic request and it needs to be fulfilled by PR afterwards, I will send it. What else do I need to cover?
That's basically it. If you know right off the bat, like literally you found out today that you're got approved for an event for whatever, like let's say a salsa benefit. Submit that request ASAP. Usually the graphic is what's used for PR, for promotion, for flyers. It's the first step. So the sooner you get that first step, the sooner you're going to get everything you need for that event. I will probably tell you a million times throughout the semester, but please, 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 as soon as you find out, submit it. If you have to make a change to it later on, I mean, that's not great, but I'd rather you submit it earlier and maybe have to tweak it every now and then than you wait like 4 days and then like, oh, I really need it like by tomorrow. No, that's not going to happen. A graphic takes a while. It's a detailed document. So definitely give her enough time. The same thing, respect for work and time. If she says it takes her 2 to 3 days, give her at least 3 to 4 maybe. Because what if she has an exam? You know, we all have things too. So definitely try to give them, sorry, I'm very used to one person. Give them enough time to create it. It's going to work a little different with having 2. They might be able to do things a little bit sooner, but at the same time, you have no idea what's on their plate at the time. It has happened before that about 3 graphic requests come in at the same time. That's going to be a lot of work for them, and you don't know if that's the case for them. If they don't have anything and it's a simple graphic, they might be able to get it in time. But what if they have 5 already? You have no idea. So definitely give them enough time. to be able to deliver like a quality graphic to you. Okay.
That also PR, you make Canvas. I will, if you need help with it or any ideas, you can just ask me. It's not a big deal. I can help you out. I'm most likely to be like going over them a little bit to see if they're okay to put out, because sometimes in the past we've had some that were not okay to put out there and they were put out. So I'll be looking over that. If you have any questions or anything, you come to me. I'm pretty much free, but I am working for the football team now for graphics, so I might not be available all the time, but I will try my best to get back to everyone. Yeah, go Gators! I think that's about it. I will send an email later with all of this if you need more information or something else. So.
Yo, tell people how you got that job.
All right. So I got an interview with the director of it, and I told him like I've been a graphic design intern for 2 semesters now, and I've done and everything. Yeah. Well, I'm mostly doing it for recruits, so anybody who's coming in, they'll see my graphics.
That's cool.
Yeah.
She's also made Snapchat filters, like all this stuff. She's
yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, I made a Snapchat filter for my town I live in. Anyone in the town can use it, so I'm gonna try to make one for UF too.
Wow, that's a talent right there.
Snapchat
filter for myself.
I can try.
For CBOB.
I think that's pretty much it. I think there's some of you that I had to talk to. If your supervisor is here, go introduce yourself to them really quick. Maybe try and talk about a time that you can set up a meeting, start to get to know each other in person. If you need to go, totally can. And be on the lookout for those emails coming up. 100% most important thing to do this week, it needs to be done by Friday, is pick a meeting time. Everyone should be signed up for classes by Friday. We need a meeting. These meeting times are like, you need to be available and ready to go every single week at that time. Don't pick a time that might change. Pick a time you know 100% you're going to be available. Okay? Alrighty.
Yeah, and don't be scared. I promise the rest of our meetings are short. This is literally the longest you'll be with us. So
I promise, guys. Our things are normally not 40 slides long. Just
no. And or we keep it under a time frame. So just welcome.
For me and Emma's team, really quick, since I'm far and I'm going to leave. Look at your emails. I sent an email last night at midnight for our 3 interns, so please respond to that. You're typically expect 24 hours, so we've got 2 hours, 1 hour and 40 minutes to respond to that, so let's try to find a meeting time. That's just for me and Emma's interns. Bye, everyone.
She said, in case you couldn't hear her, is that for Juanita and Emma's interns, so Bound for Peace service trip interns, she sent an email last night at midnight. In general, you have 24 hours to respond to emails, which leaves you with just about like 2 hours to respond to that email. So get to it.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.